Welcome, everyone, to Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. Let's do roll call. Tracy?
Councilmember Brandon Whedon,
Present.
Councilmember Angela Jefferson,
Present.
Councilmember Joan Caffey,
Present.
Councilmember Eileen Swarthout,
Present.
Councilmember Megan Sullivan,
Present.
Councilmember Peter Agabi,
Present.
Councilmember Kelly Von Holtz,
Present.
Mayor Lietta Dahlhoff.
And I am still here. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you, everyone. We are on to special items. We have a proclamation regarding the National Park and Recreation Month for July 2026, and Councilmember Whedon will be reading that proclamation.
Whereas parks and recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including the city of Tumwater, and whereas parks and recreation resources are vitally important to establishing and maintaining Tumwater's quality of life, improving the health of all people, and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of our community. And whereas Tumwater's park and recreation programs help build a healthy, active community while providing parks and facilities that serve the needs of thousands of residents through active recreation, athletics, camps, special events, and competitions. And whereas Tumwater's park and recreation programs enhance our community's economic prosperity through higher property values, increased tourism, attracting and retaining businesses, and by reducing crime. And whereas Tumwater's parks and natural recreation areas improve water quality, reduce flooding, protect groundwater, improve the quality of the air we breathe, preserve habitat for wildlife, enhance the ecological beauty of our community, and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and to recreate outdoors. And whereas Tumwater recognizes the great societal value of parks and recreation facilities, honors the vital contributions of employees and volunteers in park and recreation facilities, and supports the designation of July by the United States House of Representatives and National Park and Recreation Month. Now, therefore, Lietta Dahlhoff, Mayor of the City of Tumwater, hereby proclaims the month of July 2026 National Park and Recreation Month and calls upon the people of the City of Tumwater to join in recognizing the benefits derived from Tumwater parks and recreation programs. Also encourage residents to visit the city's website to learn more about our parks and recreation programs and about our volunteer opportunities. Signed in the City of Tumwater, Washington, this 7th day of July in the year 2026.
Thank you, Councilmember Whedon. Who do we have at the podium? Sir, your mic is on.
Chuck Denny, Parks and Recreation Director. Thank you, Councilmember Whedon, for reading that. And I appreciate you all being a part of that. A variety of things I could talk about probably for a half hour about Parks and Recreation and all the great things that we do. But I'll focus a little bit on some of the bigger things that are happening this summer. We just had a huge weekend, which a lot of you participated in with our 38th annual 4th of July parade. Police estimated there was about 10,000 people there. It was a good crowd and a good event. Flowing into our festival and fireworks show at Tumwater Valley, where we had a count of about 15,000 people on the driving range at the golf course, and certainly thousands more on Tumwater Hill and Cleveland Avenue that gathered to watch the show. So Tumwater's biggest day and the biggest event that happens in our city all year. Kudos to my great staff for pulling all that together, and a number of the other departments in the city, from police and fire and public works, transportation, engineering, water resources, finance, helping us get all that together. A bunch of sponsors, a bunch of volunteers. It's a huge day. And while it's nice to check that box and say we've done it well for another year, I'm really proud of what we're able to do. As we move forward, our next event starts this Thursday. Our craft concert series at the Craft District is on Thursday. 4 weeks in a row in July, every Thursday at 6 o'clock, we'll have a musical performer at the Craft District. So if you get a chance to go there on Thursday nights, that's a great one. Also starting at the end of July is our annual Screen on the Green movies series, and we'll be showing movies at 3 different parks as well as the golf course into August. Also, at the end of July, we also have a new event called Chrome on the Range. We're doing a car show in cooperation and sponsorship from Capital Collision, where we're going to do a fairly large car show with a Landco, which is a fairly well-known band, if you're familiar with that kind of country music. So we're hoping as an inaugural event that'll be very successful. And then following up on that, August 15th, we have our annual Artesian Brew Fest. So that kind of wraps up the summer for big events in Tumwater. And of course, we're doing camps and sports and some adult sports as well. A lot of things going on in parks, a lot of things coming up in park planning. So very busy time. And again, a shout out to my staff. We have some fantastic people that do great things and care very deeply about their job and what they do for the city of Tumwater. So thank you for that proclamation. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you, Chuck. Any comments, compliments from council before we take a photo with Chuck? Your microphones are hot.
So I have a question. Are we responsible for fireworks?
The fireworks are sponsored by the Red Wind Casino.
Okay. So for the amount of people that showed up for 250-year celebration, the firework was pitiful. It only lasted about 12, 13 minutes, maybe 14 minutes.
It was 19 minutes and 28 seconds.
Okay, well, neither here nor there. But for the amount of people that showed up, all inside a cemetery, that firework was just beautiful. We were celebrating 250 years of America. It is not like any other 4th of July celebration. That should have been something that was meaningful. And I'm saying this because there were a lot of people that were complaining while I was standing there with them because we couldn't drive to the park. That was full. So, but it is what it is.
Councilmember Gabbard, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It's just a complaint. I don't know how many years.
Okay.
I don't know how many years we get to celebrate. How many times we're going to celebrate 250 years of America? I won't be here the next 250 years. You won't be here. So you'll come around one time, and we should have done a good job at doing that, celebrating that.
I heard a lot of compliments about, especially the finale. So kudos to staff and all the work that went into it. And if you have an opportunity to go and see the setup before and understanding how fireworks, they do go very quickly. And for the amount of money it cost and the sponsorship amount, it was a great event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Sullivan.
I just want to say thank you to the entire park staff and to our sponsors and Red Wind Casino.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Tracy. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Councilmember Jefferson.
Yes. Congratulations. Job well done. And it's almost like you and your team, our police officers, our firefighters are just run machine. I appreciate that. But I'm out of town, so I didn't have a chance to enjoy the festivities. But the only negative that I heard was the trampling or the disrespect for the grave sites at the cemetery. So maybe next year, just let our citizens know, this is our past, and to just respect those grave sites. I think that will go a long way. That's the only thing that I heard. Negative, but everything else was positive. Well done. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. I have no idea what Councilmember Gabi and Councilmember Jefferson are talking about trampling graves.
Yeah, as a gathering point, the 2 cemeteries on Cleveland Avenue see a lot of people.
Do we own those cemeteries?
We do not.
Okay.
It's the Masonic Lodge and the Catholic Church own the 2 cemeteries. And we talk to them. We provide them with porta potties and trash cans that we put up there because we know people are going to be there. We'll talk to them in the next week or so and do a recap of how it went, if there's any damage or what we could do differently. They're not interested in closing off the cemetery. We have offered that. So we'll continue to work with them and make sure that their facilities aren't being damaged and that we can manage that event.
Thank you, Chuck.
About
Councilmember Gabi, can you start over? Your mic was off.
Yeah, I don't know what the city will have done about people in the cemetery with just a space that they have to pay to. So I don't. It's not something that we can do anything about.
But
So,
I appreciate you and Councilmember Jefferson bringing that up, and Chuck will circle back. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you both. Councilmember Whedon, your mic is on.
I'd just like to say that I greatly appreciate all the work that you and your staff put into this. I know it takes the whole year. I'm sure you're already starting to get going on the next one. So the dedication that you put in and the amount of effort and volunteer hours by the community that comes out to go ahead and celebrate it. Big thank you. I don't quite understand your criticism about the duration of the fireworks, but thank you to the sponsor for coming out, putting on, from everything I heard, an amazing show. Appreciate the collaboration with. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Whedon. Councilmember Swarthout, do you want to add anything before we take a photo op?
Just want to thank the team as well. And we had a lot of fun. So, and you guys make it look so easy. So it looked like everything was just going so smoothly.
That's the way we always wanted to appear.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And the city hall looks amazing. So you guys did a nice job.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Swarthout. Councilmember Kathy, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I'm glad that they shoot the fireworks up high because I watch it from my back deck. So it's always lights up the sky amazingly. You know, I think you can tell that when you're a little bit farther away, how big and bright it really is. So yeah, this is one of Tumwater's things, and Tumwater does it to perfection. So I think it's great.
Thank you, Councilmember Kathy. I think the feedback from council is you're never going to please everyone. We have a request for longer fireworks, and we also get concerns from those who have PTSD and the challenges with pets. I go through that myself, so it's that delicate balance. So I appreciate you not taking any of this personally, and you hear it every single time at every single event. So I appreciate you finding that balance of meeting multiple needs in our community and also being respectful of those who have challenges with fireworks.
Absolutely.
I would like to add that I think that possible disrespect or abuse or use of the cemetery has increased. I lived for years across the street from the cemetery and would walk over there, and some people just are not respectful. And I think that to continue, and Chuck will do this, continue to have conversation with them and let them know that everybody's doing their best, but there are just some people that anytime there's something near or around or whatever the cemetery, people get strange and disrespectful. So we need to, if I don't know what we need to do. It's just, but I do realize that I think it's gotten worse because more people are watching the fireworks now, and they've been told that's a good spot. So we need to keep an eye on it.
Thank you, Councilmember Kathy. Chuck made a note while you were sharing your comments, so he will circle back with council. Thank you.
They'll probably circle back and send me over there to go walking through it since I know where all the things are. Okay.
I wasn't going to offer that as an option, but if you'd like to go with Chuck, you are more than welcome.
No, he's going to appoint me to the patrol while he's down on the street.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember Kathy. Chuck, would you like us to join you, or would you like us all to stand behind you? And then you just,
Right there.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever's easier.
I mean, it's your moment, Chuck. It's your,
Then I'm gonna make it all.
okay, well, let's all go down and hang out with Chuck. We are moving on to public comment. Tracy.
At this time, we will receive public comment. You may comment on items relating to city business not scheduled for public hearing. When I call your name, please come up to the podium, speak into the microphone, and state your name and contact information for the record. Each individual will be limited to 1 3-minute period to make your remarks, regardless of the number of topics they wish to address. Speakers may not comment upon, promote, advocate for, oppose, or speak against a pending initiative, ballot measure, or candidate. All comments shall be directed toward council as a whole, not to individual council members, and not to members of the audience. Please refrain from disruptive behavior such as booing, hissing, audible comments, cheering, or clapping. I do not have anybody registered online for public comment, but I do have one member in the audience who would like to speak, and it's Ryan Reynolds.
All right, my name's Ryan Reynolds, 9020 Blomberg Street. And I wanted to take an opportunity, it's a unique opportunity for me because I'm speaking as a citizen, not representing any entity. And I wanted to thank the entire city and council for everything over this 4th of July weekend. Growing up, and the exception of almost 20 years, I went away for a little bit, but most of my life being here, this 4th of July was unique. Spent the whole day starting, coming down, and didn't get home, didn't leave until about 11:15 the night of the 4th. Going in, speaking to owners of businesses, checking to see if they're getting increased flow, creating numbers. And what it did, because the way it was ran, it did feel smooth. I heard that comment earlier. The way it was ran from beginning till the end, it did what all of my different responsibilities desire. Things I'm involved with in life as a business owner here in Tumwater, as a parent, as a person who's lived here my whole life, involved with other organizations outside of just Tumwater. What occurred this 4th of July was a positive for families, for the community, for the businesses, and for the esteem at a time where it really seems like we need something to celebrate and additional things. That happened. And I want to say thank you to the entire city and everybody that's been a part of it. And it meant a lot. At the end of the day, my wife and I were almost in tears. And I want to take the opportunity to say that and say thank you and great job. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm sorry,
Because
you
that
left the
all-
podium.
That all brought value to the city. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Tracy. Moving on to item number 6, consent calendar. Are there any items that council would like removed from the consent calendar? If not, I would entertain a motion, but you got to tell me if you want to make the motion so I can unmute your mic.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Thank you. I got a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz and Councilmember Swarthout to approve the consent calendar as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, public hearings, ordinance number 2026-003, 2025-2026 budget amendment number 1, Finance Department. Thank you, Sir Finance. Thank you. Sir Finance, what do you have today for council?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Troy Niemeyer, Finance Director, or Sir Finance. if
Sir
you prefer.
Finance.
Tonight, we have budget amendment number 1.
Troy, can you speak a little bit closer?
Yes.
Thank you.
So this is the first budget amendment of our 2025-2026 budget, biennial budget. And we'll go through some changes here just briefly. All right, so we've talked several times previously about the big budget savings we had in 2025. So you may be asking, why do we even need an amendment? And there's a few reasons. We've made some commitments and done some things that we need to kind of catch up on. Transparency and some future things coming up that we need some additional funding authority for. And just a note about the future, we've been talking about wanting to have more frequent budget amendments. Having one after a year and a half into the biennium is not ideal. We're thinking maybe 2 or 3 a year to have kind of a good regular cadence and rhythm on budget amendments, keeping smaller, having a little more efficiency that way. So that's a future item. For this budget amendment for 2025, there's not a whole lot to do. We had some minor adjustments in cost allocation. We found a few small errors in the budget that we're correcting. We did increase LTAC funding last fall, so this is to kind of catch up with that. And then around going into wintertime, the Tumwater Youth Program had really record participation, which necessitated them spending more money, and that has revenue that goes with it, but we still need the budget authority to spend the money. So it kind of catches that up. So overall for 2025, this amendment adds only this is all funds put together, $15,000 in revenue and $62,000 in expenditures. And then for the general fund, it actually decreases revenue by about $10,000. It decreases expenditures overall by about $85,000. So pretty minor changes. Looking to 2026, this is basically the same slide as it was for 2025, same kind of minor things. And since the Tumwater Youth Program had such a big year for 2025, we anticipate the same thing for 2026. So we're going to try to get ahead of that. So the big highlights for 2026, we bought the Lodge building earlier this year. And at that time, we told you we'd come back with a budget amendment to authorize that. And so that's part of this. Some increased cost for the fire department for apparatus repair and cancer screening, and change in funding source for the new fire engine, basically paying cash for it instead of debt financing it. Things coming up, we would like to do some more code enforcement, potentially some abatement, so there's money in the amendment for that. The Gary Oak tree, when we got the initial estimate for the care and maintenance of the tree, it was estimated at $25,000. The bids actually came back at about $75,000. So we need a little more for that. And then the opioid settlement funds, those will go to the Thurston County Narcotics Task Force. I think that's right. Or no,
Opioid Abatement.
Opioid Abatement Council. Thank you. And so this authorizes moving those funds. So overall for 2026, all funds put together, this increases revenues by about 1.3 million and expenditures by about 5 million. And most of that's related to the fire truck, the purchase of the Lodge building, and the opioid transfers. And then the general fund specifically increases revenues by about 36,000 and expenditures by 975,000. Nearly all of that is for code enforcement and the transfer of the opioid funds. So we're not asking for any action tonight. This is other than holding a public hearing, and I'd be happy to take any questions before we open the hearing.
Okay. Councilmember Jefferson, then I'll do Councilmember Swarthout and Councilmember Agabi.
Yes, this is just a general question. on the update of the lodge building. Maybe Chuck might know, but we are going to have meeting space available for the community in that new building, correct?
I'm gonna have to say that that's off topic, Councilmember Jefferson, because we're dealing with a budget amendment. So Chuck, can you follow up with Angela? Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Swarthout.
Two questions. So can we get a little bit more information on the Gary Oak tree? Didn't hear all. What was the piece that we're
sure.
doing?
Yeah, so the original, when we had, I think it was Prager and Associates that did the final assessment of the tree and kind of laid out a treatment and maintenance plan. And their initial estimate a couple years ago was $25,000. We actually earlier this year went out. No, I said bids, but probably an RFP, and we had one contractor reply, and it was about $75,000 to do that maintenance. And so we need an extra $50,000 for the tree.
And so that's work that we'll be doing. When are we doing the work on the tree then?
We had planned on doing it late spring, early summer, but
Okay.
when the contractor looked at it, I think it was the weather conditions, the dryness. They said it would actually be better for the tree to put that work off until about November.
Okay. I know people have been looking for information. And then the other thing is about the fire trucks. So are we going to bond with the fire truck or?
Our original plan was to debt finance it,
Right.
and we had talked about putting that together with the remodel of Station T2.
Mhm.
But the timing doesn't really line up. You'll recall we ordered this fire truck about 3 years ago, and the first payment's going to be due, I think, in July, and it's going to be ready, I think, about September.
Oh, wow.
And so we've got some reserves in the levy lid lift fund that we can use to pay for that.
Thank you.
Councilmember Gabi.
So, the revenue is a little less, but the expenses is a little more. But I see the expenses as obligated expenses that we have to partake in no matter what. So the question is, does those expenses carry forward year to year, and for how long if they carry forward?
Is it a
Say, for example,
specific expense?
say, for example, the opioid abatement, we'll make a payment this time around. We'll make another payment next year. And then for the other expenses, are they going to be on those timelines too?
Most of the big expenses are one time.
One time?
But
Okay.
the opioid expenses, we've been collecting the settlement funds for 2 or 3 years now. And so there's around $375,000, $400,000 in there right now. And so that will be one big payment to them for that.
Yeah, so that's just one item. So if you take the 1.5 or 1.3 out of 5 million, you have what, 3.7 now in deficit? Or shortfall, I would say. So if those items will carry forward in 2027, 2020, 2029, then I see where we'll have a problem. But if they're just one-time item, then I think we look good.
Yeah, yes, just one-time items.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Gabi. Any other questions before I open the public hearing? Okay. That was one, but the first one was too soft, so that's just one. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna open the public hearing on ordinance number 2026-003, 2025 to 2026 budget amendment number 1. At this time, we'll receive public testimony. When I call your name, please come up to the podium, speak into the microphone, and state your name and address for the record. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and please keep your testimony relevant to the subject of the public hearing. Tracy, is there anyone online who would like to talk in this public hearing?
We did not have anybody register.
Thank you. I do not see anyone signed up in person. I'm going to do last call for anyone who is not staff in this room. Owen, do you want to come testify, Owen? No? Okay. All right. But anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? I'm going to close the public hearing. It is now closed. Are there any additional questions from council? If not, I would like a motion to forward the item to the July 21st, 2026 council meeting on considerations with a recommendation to adopt ordinance number 02026-003, 2025, the 2026 budget amendment number 1. Councilmember Sullivan.
So moved.
Got a second from Councilmember Gabi. Thank you so much. Motion from Councilmember Sullivan. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Finance. We are now on to, I think, City Administrator's favorite part of the agenda. It's his report.
Thank you, Mayor Dolhoff. Just a quick report. Requested. There was a request for calls for service for both police and fire on the 4th of July. For the police department, they on average receive 58 calls per day in the month of June. On the 4th of July, they received 60, so just a little bit ahead. I will say one difference caveat, though, is that 14 of those calls were fireworks related. So about 25% of the calls were related to the holiday. For the fire department, they received 18 calls for service on the 4th of July, which matches their daily average. No calls on the 4th of July were related to fireworks. However, on July 5th, there was a residential structure fire that was caused by a firework. Thankfully, the damage was contained to the exterior of the residence. So the damage was limited, but that is my report on calls of service for police and fire.
Thank you so much, Administrator Simon. My report is we have a Budget and Finance Committee meeting on July 24th at noon. And then I got so excited today, I forgot to give a summary on the consent calendar items. So tonight's consent calendar included approval of minutes for the June 2nd council meeting, June 9th work session, and June 16th council meeting, ratification of June voucher payments totaling $4.56 million, approval of a 5-year Sirius XM lease amendment for equipment on the city water tower, and authorization of a consultant agreement with HDR Engineering for the Somerset Hill Culvert Replacement Project. Why those two things are important is the Sirius XM amendment increases lease revenue to the city, and the Somerset Hill project will improve fish passage, habitat, and the utility protection along Percival Creek. Well, that is my report. We're going to go on to council member reports, and I think we're going to start from the right to the left. So, Councilmember Whedon.
So, June 23rd through the 26th, I attended the Association of Washington Cities annual conference in Spokane alongside the city administrator, assistant city administrator, mayor, and councilmember Swarthout and councilmember Gabi. I attended several sessions, including an overview of Washington housing market, visioning your community's future from vision to impact. I went to leveraging sports tourism to drive community and economic outcomes and housing policy. One of my primary goals at the conference was to better educate myself on housing, both here in Tumwater and across Washington. As we all know, housing affordability is one of the biggest challenges facing our communities, and will only become more difficult for future generations if we don't continue to look for solutions today. One takeaway that stood out to me was the need for stronger partnership between the state and local government. Smaller municipalities like ours need additional support to help offset the permitting costs and other barriers that ultimately drive up the price of new housing. There isn't a single solution to the issue, and addressing affordability will require collaboration between state agencies, local governments, builders, and our communities. In June, I met with Don and Debbie Trosper. It was awesome to get some firsthand history and knowledge that they have about Tumwater. Conversations like these are a great reminder of how important it is to preserve our community's story as we continue to grow. I'm also looking forward to reading more about Tumwater's history through Don's books. On July 1st, I met with Ryan Reynolds from the Tumwater Chamber of Commerce. It was great to hear about the Chamber's efforts to support our existing businesses while also attracting new investments in Tumwater. I look forward to continuing to work with the Chamber as we strengthen our local economy and support both large and small businesses that help define our community. I participated in Tumwater's annual 4th of July parade alongside many of our council and mayor. I'd like to thank our city staff for all of their work that goes into making this event such a success. While it is often viewed as just a Parks and Recreation event, it truly takes a citywide effort. I want to thank our fire and our police departments, Public Works, Transportation, and all the community volunteers whose contributions help make events like this possible. And then yesterday, I attended my first Thurston County Opioid Response Task Force. We heard a presentation from Thurston County Medic 1, who shared updates on the county's outreach efforts. And seeing as this is my first meeting, I'm looking forward to learning more about these countywide efforts and how they intersect with Tumwater specifically, what is working, what needs to be improved, and how we are going to continue to strengthen and improve public health. And then I guess it is next week, we have Public Health and Safety Committee and our general government. That is it.
Thank you, Councilmember Whedon. Great report. Councilmember Agabe, what's good?
So AWC was a blast last week. Yeah, was it last week? Yeah, last week. I have tomorrow TPB in the morning, and then the week after that, I have the opioid abatement, and then I believe the one other one week after. So all in the future.
Thank you, Councilmember Agabe. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, Mayor Dahlhoff and I got to meet with some youth through the LTC youth program, where a panel of electeds got questions, and it was a really great event and so fun. And shout out to Lily if she happens to be watching. She was from Tumwater High School and the most active of the group, I would say. I also got to attend the fan zone for World Cup, and it was such a fun event. I will fully admit that I am not a soccer or football aficionado, but it is worming its way into my heart despite the loss by the US yesterday. Don't cheat, everybody. And so, but what a fun event. And it was so nice to see like all of the 3 cities and the county had come together to bring this to Thurston County and just have it come to fruition. I met a couple from Scotland who were just traveling. They'd been to Boston to watch some of the games. This Olympia was as close as they could get. They didn't get tickets to a World Cup game here, but they were just kind of following it as it went, and that was the plan. And to just see it work was really cool. And just to be a part of community. I mean, I was yelling. I didn't know what I was yelling for. Somebody got a goal. Anybody got a goal. It was fine. So that was really fun. And then, of course, the 4th of July is my favorite event of the year. And it has been before I was ever on council and when I was on Parks and Rec Commission. It just all the work that goes into it. And it takes every single city staff member to put it together, and it's just such a great event for the community, and it's very, it can bring a tear to your eyes. You're so proud. So, Ryan, I hear you and how you felt. Next week, like Councilmember Whedon said, we have Public Health and Safety, and I do not have a lot meeting in July.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz. Councilmember Sullivan.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 9th of June, we had Public Health and Safety, and coming up, we have Public Health and Safety. On the 20th of June, I had the privilege of giving a welcome at the air show. It was an incredible opportunity if you've never been to the air show, not to be missed, and thank you for the opportunity. On the 22nd of June, City Administrator Simmons and I met with some community leaders who were advocating for public access to pools. There was also a special meeting of the Regional Housing Council to discuss questions from staff, administration, mayor, and myself, and move forward back to County Commission to approve second-year funding for contracts. And on 6/24, I had EDC, a regular meeting, as well as the annual EDC Business Awards Program. Tumwater's own Cardinal Glass received the Large Employer Corporate Business of the Year award, and that was held at Hangar 51 and was a really beautiful event. So if you didn't see the update, there's more information on City of Tumwater's Facebook page. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Councilmember Swarthout, what's good?
Well, thank you, Mayor. Haven't had any meetings. I do have TRPC that's coming up on Friday, and we are going to be talking about regional multimodal level of service. And we're going to be talking about, this one's interesting, the Cascadia High-Speed Rail and I-5 program updates. So we'll be getting, and that's the same thing that Councilmember Gabi, I'm sorry, I can't talk, is going to be hearing too. They hear it at TPB. So that's what's on Friday. I enjoyed AWC. And I do share your, with the World Cup being downtown, because I thought I was going to be out at the, by Swantown. So having it at the Port Plaza made a lot more sense, and it made it, I think, more intimate for people and made it more of a thing. So that was a good job for them. So, and I have been watching World Cup soccer all day long or all week long. So just saying, go with soccer.
Thank you, Councilmember Swarthout. Great update. Councilmember Jefferson, what's good?
Yes, I have an extra long report today, so be patient with me. No, I'm just joking.
I was like, Councilmember Jefferson,
Since the meeting is
look
just
me
going
in my
fast.
eye.
Okay, my 7 July TCOM meeting, we discussed the financial report, which showed May revenues were 6.6% over last year. The executive director provided updates on the final acceptance of a contract, ongoing phone system replacement, and the second academy with 7 new employees. A new scheduling program was soft launched, and the UPS integration project is scheduled. Our next meeting is rescheduled to September. I also attended EMS meeting on the 25th of June, really short. I think it was less than 20 minutes, but the meeting discussed the county's EMS response time. And I'm going to give you some details on this because there was some major improvements from the last time that I briefed you on this. The county maintains a 30-minute standard, achieving 80% compliance. From year 2024 and 2025, urban compliance improved by 3 to 5%, while suburban compliance remained at 98%. Rural compliance reached 96% in 2025. So there's been some improvements, some implementation, and some changes that took place. And I'm just proud of the work that they did. And you can see that with the improved response times. And my next Public Works Committee meeting is this Thursday at 11 a.m. That's my report.
Great report, Councilmember Jefferson. Thank you so much. Councilmember Kathy, what's good?
Oh, lots of things are good. Do you want me to go through the list, or you just want me to talk council related things?
I mean, let's just let's try council related.
Okay, all right. I'm encouraging people to look for hopeful things these days. It's difficult, so I tell them to stop looking nationally and look what's going on in the city of Tumwater and what we're trying to do, and on and on. Anyway, my meeting starts tomorrow with the Olympic Region Clean Air Agency, and meetings then go throughout the month. And I'm not going to take time to talk about things way past. I did attend the Regional Housing Council this past month, and was able to have some interesting observations and a couple of comments. And they're probably glad that who our representative is. But anyway, it was good. And I wanted to compliment someone tonight, and that is our city administration, Paul Simmons. Paul, when you write those reports to us, I feel like you're talking to me. I feel like you do it in a way that you're passing on information that you want to share with us, and not from your perch, but as alongside. I feel like you do a very good job of being inclusive of all of us in this project called Tumwater. And I'm proud of you and the representation that you have in this community. And I've heard some of it over the months and recent months, I should say. And I just want you to know that because I know you're working hard and supporting our mayor, and we're doing some good things. And I want to thank you for the way you do things and make all of us feel part of it. So thank you. And that's my report.
Thank you, Councilmember Kathy. What a great way to end this evening. Is there any other additional business? If not, meeting adjourned at 7:46.